That's what separates Drew Burress. It's not that he's got a really good swing. He does. It's not that he's got great tools. He does. He's got an elite approach and mindset to the game. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't have hit 25 home runs last year.
Level. This is why.
Okay guys, so I was having a conversation actually with one of the guys that follows the channel today, and this actually brought up a really good idea, I thought, for a video to talk about what separates the elite players from just the really good players. And specifically the conversation we had was about Drew Burress at Georgia Tech, the phenomenal freshman who was just rated by, I believe, D1 Baseball, maybe Perfect Game, the top sophomore in college baseball, which no-brainer. Everyone should have guessed that. Guy was a first team All-American as a freshman. And so let's talk about what makes him so elite. And it's probably something that you don't really think. Now, let's talk about his size. I mean, he's listed as 5'9", maybe 5'10". He's definitely shorter than me. I've been on the field with him. He's probably somewhere between 5'7" and 5'8", like pushing 5'8", maybe 5'7". And again, with his frame, 180 pounds, which is about exactly what he wants to be, probably max where he is. I mean, he's pretty thick for a guy his size, can run decently well, not a burner like a lot of people would think as a center fielder, but really good player. But what separates him, and this is a conversation we had, and really one at bat in particular I remember from last season that really allowed me to think, to see that this guy is going to be an elite player. So 3 weekends in, they're facing Georgia, been facing non-conference competition and doing really well, batting in the leadoff spot as well. And my theory was that we're really going to figure this out when he has to get pitched more like a three-hole guy, meaning he's going to get pitched around, not going to get a lot of fastballs, change-ups, breaking balls, etc. In his first at bat against Georgia's Friday guy, left-handed pitcher, a lot of change-ups. He's way out front, looks really bad. He was hunting fastball, looked bad, so what? Well, most freshmen, even if they have really good seasons, that's probably going to take a couple weeks to make that adjustment, because most freshmen are going to think, yeah, that was one at bat, but he's going to throw me fastballs next at bat. Or, oh yeah, that was one series, but this weekend against this other team, they're going to throw me more fastballs. And the reality is, the adjustments you make as a freshman, how long it takes you to make those adjustments, generally speaks to kind of how elite your mindset is and your approach and your baseball IQ, etc. So next at bat, he might have been first pitch, or it's one of the first couple pitches, change up, right over the plate, bomb. And from watching the replay, you could tell he was sitting on it based on his timing, based on his front leg. He did not get caught, out over that front leg a little bit like he got fooled and then made a good adjustment. He does have a really good swing that could allow him to do that. But there was no out front. I mean, he was braced and timed and ready for a changeup, bomb. So that's what immediately told me this guy is an elite player. So let's talk about what are those things that make the elite player, and that's fast adjustments. I've seen a lot of guys with really good swings, great physicality, everything you could want on paper, but they're not elite players because they don't look at the game in an advanced, in an elite way. So that adjustment right there, from one at bat to the next, he recognized, all right, he's pitching around me, throwing me a lot of changeups. I'm going to sit on that next at bat. Like I said, most freshmen, they kind of just assume, okay, yeah, that was one at bat. But he recognized, okay, I'm hitting for more power. I'm showing that I have power. They're going to start pitching me like a guy with power. Made that adjustment in one at bat, and the rest was history, the rest of the season. Elite approach. He knew, and obviously we're talking more kind of on the offensive side. He recognized how he was getting pitched. Guys, you want to separate yourself as a hitter? Recognize how you're being attacked at the plate. I mean, there is a pattern typically to how you individually are being pitched. Now, if you're the 9-hole guy or the 8-hole guy, probably going to go right at you. I mean, I was a leadoff guy with a lot of speed, So they don't want to mess around with off-speed pitches and change-ups. They're going to come right at me with fastballs. I knew that, so I was sitting dead red all the time, unless I came up in a runners in scoring position type situation where they're going to try to steal a strike. They don't want to give you that fastball over the plate. But most of my at-bats, I knew that. Likewise, with a middle-of-the-order type hitter, most of your at-bats, they don't want to just give you a fastball to launch out of the park. They weren't afraid to do that to me because I was not a power guy. So they thought, okay, if he hits a single, great. We don't want to give him a free walk. Like, make him earn his way on, make him hit. A power guy, offensively, they're going to pitch you the exact opposite way. They do not want to give you just a free fastball over the plate. If they're up big or down big, it's different. But in a tight game, they're not trying to give you that first pitch fastball you're looking for. They're going to try to steal a strike with off speed. And then ultimately, they're either going to stay ahead of you and they're not going to give you anything to hit, or they're going to fall behind. And the question is, are they going to challenge you, or are they just going to kind of pitch around you, almost unintentional, intentional intentional walk. So you, as a hitter, guys, to be elite, you have to recognize immediately from yesterday to today, okay, how's this pitcher attacking me? In college, you're more thinking, okay, what is this pitching coach attacking me with? Because the pitcher's not making the calls. Catcher's not making the calls. Very rare in programs that's actually being done. The pitching coach is the one with the strategy. He's the one that's watched all the video. He's done all the scouting. So he's the one making these calls. So if you're watching a guy, I always tell guys, look at a guy in the lineup that's a similar hitter to you, power-wise, middle of the order or top, bottom of the order, and see how this guy is pitching them. And then make an adjustment, make an approach based on that. Drew Burress is elite because when he walks to the plate, he knows what he's trying to do. Not only what he's looking for, he knows what the situation is, he knows what his job is every time he steps up to the plate. If you're walking up to the plate and you're kind of just like, okay, I'm looking for pitches that look good, and yeah, there's guys on base, but I don't know what my job is. I'm just trying to hit the ball hard. One, that's not a team at bat. You always have a job. If I'm leading off the game, my job is to see a lot of pitches and get on base. Report back to the guys, hey, what's his breaking ball look like? What's his changeup look like? Fastball, etc. What's the movement? And then also get on base. Get on base as a leadoff hitter. See, work along at bat. Tire out that starting pitcher. That was my job as a leadoff hitter. Middle of the order guys on base, drive them in. Guy on third, less than 2 outs, hit the ball deep in the air. Or if they're playing back, hit one hard up the middle. Get the job done. That's the type of stuff that I'll think, because of showcase ball and travel ball, where everything's about, pimping everything and, looking like a baller. A lot of you guys out there just don't know how to have a team at bat and to give up yourself for the team, meaning you're a power guy, but they're playing infielders are back in normal position. Like, if you feel like you can't get underneath the ball, just hit one dead on the ground hard up the middle. Or right to the second baseman, or right to the shortstop. I can't count on my hand how many times I had an at bat like that where I knew, I could try to hit a bolt, but this guy's giving me, middle away and up. That's not really my thing. I'm just going to fly out deep left and bring the guy in. You should be able to do things like that. You should be able to make adjustment. You should have the bat to ball skills to put the ball in play that's going to get the job done for your team. That's what separates Drew Burress. It's not that he's got a really good swing. He does. It's not that he's got great tools. He does. Does he have the most power I've ever seen in my life? No. Does he have the most speed I've ever seen in my life? No. But he's got a great swing that's going to hit. When he hits the ball hard, it's going to be at the right angle to hit home runs. But he's got an elite approach and mindset to the game. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't have hit 25 home runs last year. Maybe he would have hit 15. Maybe he'd hit 17. But 25 is a guy who's constantly changing his approach based on how he's being pitched, how he's being attacked. So don't get it twisted and think like, well, Drew Burress is this elite player because his exit velocity is amazing and his 60 times amazing, and man, he's got really good rotational acceleration. He's got a great hit tool. All those things are true. He's got a great eye at the plate too, by the way. He's not just up there free hacking. He walked a bunch last year. He wasn't afraid to just take the walk if guys were pitching around him. And they did. The second half of the year, they're pitching around him. So you only get those kind of elite numbers as a freshman if you really know what you're doing at the box and you know the situation, you know your approach, you know what you're trying to do. It's an elite mentality that propels someone with really good tools to the elite level. There's a ton of guys in college baseball, believe me, with similar or better tools to Drew Burress. What elevates his tools even higher, meaning they play up in the game, is because of this elite mentality. Knows what he's trying to do every time he's on the field, knows the situation on defense, knows the situation on offense, and he attacks relentlessly with his approach. He's 100% committed. You guys have heard me talk about that. 100% committed to his approach, okay? So, guys, I hope this helps. Again, remember, we have all those QR codes. We have our throwing program right here. You can scan that if you want to. We have our hourly consulting. If you're just looking for questions to be answered, you're a young kid, you're not really ready for the recruiting advising part, but you're looking for help in decisions on where to go next and how to kind of get the ball rolling and how to develop yourself, scan that code. And then obviously if you're looking for help with the recruiting advisor, direct access to us, to one of our advisors or myself, helping you through the recruiting process, talking to coaches for you. Scan this QR code right here. Again, appreciate all the support, guys. We'll be back again tomorrow with another video.